Hi everyone, it's great that you're joining me today. And I really wanted to revisit a painting I did a couple of years ago, but it takes me back to when I really started to experiment with patterns on a canvas surface area. So I started off by placing white on the background. That's my base coat. And then on top, I used a grey, a gold, a yellow and a turquoise blue. And I swipe over those colours using a black, and the black is mixed with the cell activator. And this is about creating some lacing and some cells on the background. But the piece really transforms as we move through the process. And I'll take you through step by step and show you how I transform this piece into the end result. But first of all, this is really about creating that lacing on the background. So I'm building this creation up into layers and levels. So I've done the first level or layer, and you can see that I've lost quite a lot of my blue turquoise and my yellow. And I really want to add a bit more black to add some depth and some shadow, because what I plan to do is to do different patterns across the middle, stretch it out, and then use a balloon to also create some different patterns. So you'll see here I've added a little bit more paint, and I'm using a stick to literally just do some swirls across that middle section. But it won't just be refined to that middle section, because when I stretch out the canvas shortly, you'll see those patterns really open up. And when I do some more patterns using a balloon, you will see this piece really transform. I've noticed there's quite a puddle of paint in that middle section, so I really want to make sure that the canvas area is consistent in terms of coverage, just so it minimises any cracking when it dries. So I just stretch that out a little bit further. But as I said earlier, I really wanted to add a little bit more of the yellow and the gold and the turquoise and the gold, because I want more of that colour across the base. So I'm adding some more colour and a little bit more cell activator, and this time I'm going to swipe using my palette knife, and I do that across the yellow section and the blue turquoise section, and you can see that I'm able to spread that colour a little bit further. So what I'm trying to do is balance that colour, and I wanted more coverage on the surface area. I wanted less white and more colour. So that's why I'm just tweaking this piece now. But don't worry about those swirls. A lot of them will have changed because I'm swiping over all of those areas. But it adds to the depth, especially when we do the next part of the process. So I've got enough colour on my canvas, and now I'm just using a balloon to do some balloon dips. As I place the balloon in the paint, I do wipe the balloon clean on a paper towel to remove the excess paint that's already on the balloon from that dip. And I repeat that process throughout this creation. I'm trying to create different patterns by using different tools, and I find that a balloon really does add a really nice pattern. And what it does is it brings that paint that's underneath that surface up to the top, so it reveals different tones of those colours throughout the dip. So I'm going to use the balloon as my main tool now to add balloon dips across this full piece. But again, I just allow myself some time. I step back, have a look at the full piece, because this is now about perspective and composition. So I do use the balloon quite frequently across these areas, but you'll see that as I'm dipping the balloon into those areas, I'm revealing that white that's underneath, and I'm finding this part really interesting. So last couple balloon dips, and then I'm going to show you the wet version. And I'm really pleased with how it's transformed. Right from that beginning, I didn't have too much of the blue turquoise or the yellow on the base, but I decided to add it up, add some more paint in to ensure that there was more colour on that surface area. And then mixed with that gold and that black, you can see all those different details. And then the balloon dip has allowed the white paint that we started off with right at the beginning as our base coat to come through from the bottom and appear on the top. But within that dip, you can see how that balloon has created some really nice patterns. So this is the dry version. I have varnished this piece. I varnish with a gloss varnish by Winsor & Newton. I always use a spray varnish. But the one thing that I really love about this piece is not only the details that have been created within the patterns and those tools, but it's the balance of that blue turquoise and that yellow. This has been so much fun to revisit, one of my most favourite pieces. And I've not been able to let this piece go because actually it's one of my all-time favourites, and it hangs proudly in my studio. So when you see me create, you probably see it in the background. I just want to thank you all for being here today. I hope you've had as much fun as I have seeing how this piece transformed from start to finish and all these gorgeous patterns and details on top. I hope I get to see you again soon. Have a great week. Take care of yourself. And I hope I get to see you again in the next video. Take care, everyone. Bye.